I first started to code when I was around 12 years old, and like everyone else, I wanted to make the next big thing, the next Instagram, the next Facebook. So I started to work on a huge first project, and guess what? I wasn't even able to work on it for a week. And over these past 6 years of coding, I have made plenty more mistakes and I still continue to do so. Some of these mistakes almost destroyed my love of coding. So in this video, I'm gonna give you some tips that will help you avoid making the mistakes I did. But before we begin, I would really like to give a huge thanks to Sky28, Pranitha and Zeninlog for commenting on the last video and showing the support for me. I really appreciate it and it motivates me to keep making videos like these for you guys. So moving on with the video, mistake number 1 is not using tools. As a beginner, I was really afraid to use external tools that help me to code. I thought that they would damage my understanding and make me lazy later on. But not using these tools actually did more damage. An example is I didn't even use the CodeRunner extension for the first 4 months of coding because I thought that it would make me very lazy. Please use these extensions. They are specifically made so you can focus more time on writing the code than focusing on other menial tasks. Use extensions like snippets so you can avoid writing repetitive code, and use the live server extension so that you can actually see the changes that you're making automatically happen when developing a website. The experience of writing the code is even more important than how long you code for, because the more happier you are when you're coding, the more consistent you'll be at it. So go ahead, don't worry about using tools, they are only going to make you more productive. Mistake number 2 is not reading documentation. Documentation is an essential part of programming and it's there for a reason. Every single popular language, framework, tool has documentation. Yeah, you could go on YouTube and search for tutorials, but it's so much less efficient and it'll take a lot more time. What you need are not instructions, but a guide. And that guide is the documentation. It's literally the programmer's handbook. If you need to look up the parameters of a function, you can go to the documentation, look at that function, look at some examples, and even look at the syntax. It's that easy. In the beginning, it might be a little bit tricky to understand what exactly is written in the documentation, but that's normal. Sometimes even experienced programmers can't understand what's written in it. But the documentation for some languages like Kotlin and Python is extremely easy to understand. It's short, to the point, and it also gives some really great examples. I'm not telling you to go and buy the entire documentation. I don't even really think that's possible, but even if it was, why would anybody do that? The documentation contains everything from basic statements to complicated functions. Everything that you need is there in the documentation. But the thing is, you're not ever going to use everything that's written in the documentation. You'll only have to look at it for what you require. Mistake number 3 is going too big too fast. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I made the mistake of going too big too fast myself. I had an idea in my mind that I wanted to bring to life, so that was the reason I started to learn to code. I designed a huge system along with a basic framework for an app that really wasn't good. And then I thought, okay, now I just need to learn how to code and the idea is ready. But the truth is, things are a lot harder than that. The bubble quickly popped and I was extremely demotivated. It's not possible to build such a huge project from scratch after just 1 month of learning to code. It's like trying to solve calculus after just having learned addition. Instead of going big right away, try and work your way up to it. Start with some smaller projects, work with things like APIs, databases, frameworks, so you'll get more experience and even learn more things. Like Rome, the Facebook that you see today wasn't built in a day. The efforts of hundreds, if not thousands, of well-experienced developers went behind into building it. So first, learn to walk, then learn to run, and then fly away. Mistake number 4, and this is a very common one, is being afraid of projects. It's pretty common to think that in order to work on a project, you need to get good at a programming language first. And that's not exactly right. You don't learn so that you can work on projects. Instead, you work on projects so that you can learn. What I mean by this is, while working on projects, you will use the same fundamentals that you've learned before, but this time to solve an actual problem. You'll encounter a lot of bugs and errors, and you're gonna have to find your way around them. That's also a pretty big life lesson. Also, just a quick heads up, 80% of your life as a developer will be spent trying to solve bugs. There's no turning back now. While working on projects, you'll learn how to save resources by coding more efficiently. In the real world, this is extremely important. For example, if you have to retrieve images from a database and display them on a screen, You could display all of them at once, but here are the problems that would arise. Number one is it will waste a lot of storage, and number two is it will also waste a lot of internet and make the device slower. So the better and more efficient thing to do over here is displaying those images in batches instead of displaying all of them together. This way, you still see the same images in the same order, but you save resources. The next mistake is looking for the recipe. I made this mistake so many times that I ended up developing a bad habit because of it. And that mistake is always looking up how-to tutorials. This is called tutorial purgatory. What it means is you have a lot of projects to show, but all of them were made by looking at a tutorial. And if you're asked to make one of them again, you would not be able to unless you looked at a tutorial again. All my knowledge was fake. I was unsure about basic things like the syntax for writing a class because everything that I did was by looking at tutorials. If you are in tutorial purgatory right now, I'll tell you how to get out of it. The number one thing you have to do obviously is stop looking at tutorials. But then how do you go about doing things? Do you start from the basics again? Not exactly. You will still work on projects, but with a different mindset. Suppose you want to build the Hangman game in Python. Break down the problem into steps. Analyze what you'll need in order to build that game. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is display something on a console window, right? So instead of looking up how to build Hangman game in Python, search for displaying a message in console window using Python. You see what I mean, right? It makes a lot of sense to break down the problem, analyze it, and then look for the resources. In order to make the problem even more clear, write some pseudocode by hand. I have talked about writing code by hand in another video of mine. It is a huge advantage and it will help you think better. If you want to know more about that, here is a link to that video. If you follow these steps honestly, you'll be out of tutorial purgatory in no time. Mistake number 6 is more languages equals more intelligence. So many beginners believe that learning more languages indicates that you're a better programmer. When you're starting out, you have so many languages to choose from and you really don't know which one you should pick. So you pick up one language, learn it, and then what? You pick up another language because you've developed this mindset that learning more languages will help you become a better programmer. The truth is, you're not really going to have to learn many languages. Only the languages that you're going to need in your stream. For example, if you want to become a web developer, you really don't have to learn Python. What you need is HTML, CSS and JavaScript and maybe some PHP along with it. If you want to get into AI, you should learn Python. Yes, you could try and learn C for machine learning and neural networks, but it would be a huge pain in the ass. Get what I mean? If it doesn't fit, don't force it.
That's what she said.
Instead of trying to get decent at 10 languages, pick 2 or 3 languages and get really good at them. Moving on to the next mistake, being afraid to ask for help. No matter how experienced a developer is, they will always need help sometimes. A second opinion maybe. And as a programmer, nobody really expects you to know everything. There will be times when you have no idea how to start writing the code for a program, or maybe there's a bug or an error that you just don't know how to solve. In times like these, instead of trying to shoot in the dark, you should ask for help. And if you're an introvert like me and not very comfortable about the idea of talking to people, Stack Overflow is always there for you. Just search for your problem on Stack Overflow. Chances are it has already been solved by numerous people and the answer is right there. But even if the solution isn't there and your problem is something that's completely new, just post it and people will come and answer your question. There is a huge community behind every programming language, tool and framework filled with people who are extremely capable of helping you. All you have to do is ask. That's it. Nobody's going to judge you. Everybody needs help sometimes. The 9th mistake is worrying too much about notes. Back when I had just started to learn Python, I was crazy about taking notes for some reason. I have nothing against taking notes, but if it's going to distract you from learning what's right in front of you, then notes might not be the best idea. Whenever I was learning, I was focused on taking the notes and then learning later. Instead, what you should do is learn first, understand it, and then take the notes. Now I realize how stupid my mistake was. The correct way to take notes, any notes, is by understanding them first. And the notes are just there for you. You have to understand them, not everybody else. They don't have to be huge paragraphs with highlighted points. In fact, there are numerous studies that indicate highlighting is a huge waste of time when taking notes. The reason is it draws attention to individual facts instead of focusing on the bigger picture and the connectivity of the notes itself. So don't worry about the notes. Learn the concept, understand it, and then from what you have understood, take the notes. And the last mistake in this video, not writing code by hand. Even though this is the last point in this video, it might just be one of the biggest ones, and it is one that I ignored for a long time. I used to think that writing code by hand is a huge waste of time because the code is going to be compiled on your computer, right? Not on a piece of paper. And that is where I was wrong. Coding is not just about compiling. It's about understanding it first. When you write code by hand on a piece of paper, your brain is forced to think about it on a much deeper level. And that increases your focus and helps you understand the code better. It also helps in building good habits and increasing your memory. If you're going to be working with code that spans hundreds of lines, then at least write the pseudocode by hand first. When writing longer code, you tend to get lost and forget exactly where you were. By writing pseudocode, you will be able to get a clearer idea of the problem and also keep track of where you are. By writing pseudocode and using proper comments, the process of coding becomes much smoother. So make sure to use a pen and paper even if the bulk of your coding is going to happen on a computer. So these were some of the most common mistakes that beginners make while learning to code, and I personally am guilty of having made most of them. I hope that after watching this video, you'll avoid repeating the same mistakes that I did. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so I can keep on putting out good videos for you guys. So until next time, happy learning.